Welcome to the April 1st edition of the Capital PTBO, the podcast. Come check us out, thecapitalptbo.ca, 370 George Street North in Peterborough, Ontario. Jordan Mercier here alongside my main man, Mark Million, producer Maddie over there as well. Gentlemen, I'm just going to say this right now. Mark, you usually get Brothers Pizza on this day, but
you better believe it.
You tell them to wait because we might go 2.5, 3 hours with the amount of content that we have today.
And what did I tell you right after? Brothers waits for no one.
Might have to have them deliver it right here to the morgue table.
They would. The boys would do that. If you've never tried Brothers, it's the best next day pizza I've had, and like that I can call it, other than Jim's.
Ooh, Jimmy's.
You ever had Jim's pizza?
Oh yeah.
Give me a break.
I like my favorite next day is Spaghetti House. It's pretty good.
Okay, Spaghetti House gets a vote. I'll mark that down.
That's a good one too.
Yeah, I don't know if I've had Spaghetti House.
Ooh.
Okay, let's jump right in. I'm not going to say ever, but I can't remember.
We've got Auston Matthews scoring his 50th goal. We've got the Final Four and maybe the biggest, most anticipated basketball matchup of all time between Duke and North Carolina.
Yeah.
We got Will Smith.
Yeah.
There's more development from the Will Smith saga today. And as I say, no topic is over until Jordan, Matt, and Mark get to weigh in on it.
Correct.
So I don't care it happened on Sunday. There's a lot of layers to the onion that we're going to unpack.
And truth, yes or no, Matt, and you'll be able to tell by the live commentary here. There are people that have they've tuned in for the first time to get the Will Smith take today. They watched it and then waited for us to weigh in. Yes or no?
I think so, yeah. I imagine so. Daniel Radcliffe saying he doesn't want to just be another opinion in this. We do.
Yeah.
As far as matters.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
I'm going to make a point later that this was needed because it actually joined the opinions of The View, Howard Stern, Joe Rogan, Clay Travis. Everyone was on the same page for the first time probably in the history of life.
No kidding.
We'll get into that a little bit later. And then there's Canada and the World Cup, and I feel like we need to start there because it was something that happened this afternoon. I didn't know what to think. Like, I've seen this on TV before. There's a lot of pomp and circumstance. There's performances. It's very, very sort of not stuffy in a way that it turns you off, but you're looking at it. There's balls floating around and guys are mixing things. And I was weirdly intrigued by what was going on, even though I knew we were going to come up in pot 4. So here's what you missed. Canada is going to the World Cup for the first time since 1986. In their group, they will have Belgium, Croatia, and Morocco. Matt Latour, you claim to be the resident soccer expert on this panel. Should we be okay with that? I know there was an easier group. Group A was apparently, and I don't know much about soccer, but I'm looking at it. It's got Senegal, it's got Qatar, Netherlands are good, and then Ecuador.
Well, Senegal had a great qualifying round. That's the thing. They were the Canada of Africa.
Just sort of came out of nowhere.
I wouldn't say nowhere because they're always competitive in Africa, but they were really, really good. But, I mean, Netherlands being the best team in that group, the thing with that group is you don't have two really strong teams like a lot of the other ones because of the host country being in there.
So I was kind of hoping that Canada would end up in that one. They didn't. So for this one, here's a tale of the tape for you. Belgium is the number 2 ranked team in the world.
Yeah.
Croatia, who made it to the final in 2018?
Lost to France,
They're number 16. Morocco, number 24. And I think the last time there was a friendly between Canada and Morocco, they tuned us up pretty good.
Correct.
I saw a screen grab and it was like 4-0.
Yeah, that's right.
So I'm looking at those teams, and then casual assessment by some of the talking heads was that Belgium always underperforms, sort of one of those teams that's always highly ranked and never really makes it to the end. Croatia, they're number 16 and they're legit, but they're a lot older than they were in 2018. I think they're running back some of the same guys. And then Morocco is just sort of a wild card like Canada.
Yeah.
Which, puncher's chance any day of the week. So I'm declaring it right here. We're going on, baby.
You think they're going to the knockout stage?
Yeah. Why not?
Why not? Yeah.
Isn't this a perfect storm for Canada? Like in the respects that as to how many teams missed this year's World Cup? Right? Like Norway didn't make it. Matt Latour's favorite country.
Perennial power that is Norway.
Italy, Colombia, Austria, Algeria. Like these are some bigger countries that didn't mark this year.
Russia.
For obvious reasons. Egypt, Sweden, which, I mean, not massive powerhouses, but
teams that show up on the stage.
Teams that have had more World Cup berths, certainly, than we've had in the last 30 years. I think there's a lot of things that are really. One thing I couldn't believe, and I seen it today. Herdman's only lost 7 games since he's come to Canada. He's like 28-4-7.
That's a crazy mark.
That's for a franchise that when he took it over was, for a country that was 90th or something in FIFA.
Spinning our wheels for many years.
That's why I don't take the rankings today really to heart, because it's what have you done for me lately?
Yeah.
And lately, Canada has been as hot as anybody. Yeah, they lost to Panama, but that was kind of a nothing game. It gets you into pot 3. That's about it.
Yeah.
So I look at what have you done for me lately, and Canada has jumped up, I think, more than anybody in this tournament since the last World Cup.
They're in the 30s now.
Yeah, I think 38. That's just a guess off the top of my head, but yeah.
I'm looking at World Cup odds, and of course, we're nowhere in here in Canada.
I saw plus 19,000.
Yeah, so 150 to 1 for Canada.
Put me down for 10.
Yeah, you can put me down for 10K.
Oh, wow.
Easy now. France at 6 to 1. Brazil's at 11 to 2 is the favorite. England 13 to 2. England got themselves a gimme. You see their Group B.
United States, Iran,
and the European playoffs. So Ukraine and somebody else against Wales. Like the winner of Ukraine, something else against Wales. There's another country there that. Holy smokes! Like Canadian.
The U.S.
hockey.
is no slouch. That's the thing.
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
And Wales can be like
they took a dump the other night. The United States.
Yeah,
I know that they tied in CONCACAF, right? Like they're tied
kind
for
of
the
backed in. Like
no kidding.
Like they didn't play well in their last couple of games. I don't see them as being crazy.
Matt Latour, is Alexi Lawless still playing for the United States?
Couldn't tell you.
Okay, so
I'm
you're no
very
longer
recent soccer fan.
Landon Donovan.
Yeah, right, exactly. What's his name? Remember the guy from Colombia that used to have the hair? We'll get Mrs. M. Yeah,
it's Higuita. He was the goalie.
Yeah.
Oh, and then there was Valderrama. I think that's what you're talking about.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. Oh, I'm familiar with my mid '90s
Colombian hockey or soccer. Yeah, sure.
Andres Escobar, rest in peace.
Oh, easy now. That's too soon. Easy.
So I was riveted watching the television, and now you got to pay attention to people who are going to try and convince you that they know a lot about it. This happens to me in tennis all the time because I've been a tennis fan since I was like 5 years old, and I've always followed it. And then, of course, when the Canadians got a lot better, now all of a sudden every talking head on sports stations are acting like they follow it super close, even though they kind of don't. I'm sure some real soccer fans will notice some lapse in coverage, but I was excited. Everyone's on the same page.
Yeah.
I want to know. It was never really a super pet peeve of mine, but I want to know how many people are still going to be driving around with their heritage flags.
I know.
You know, like, is Mrs. M going to put up, well, I guess Colombia's not in it, but are you going to see the Netherlands and the French flag? And or is that like taboo
the flag
now?
Right? Is the flag a point of contention now?
Here's the thing. That Freedom Convoy a couple weeks ago, a lot of people flying the Canadian flag.
I think you can have, not to get super highly politicized here, but I think you can have, if your hockey flag or if your Canadian flag is not put on a upside down hockey stick in the bed of your truck, I think you're fine.
I think if it's like a
little, I think if it's in
flag.
if it's in your, don't forget the tournament's going to be in November, so it's not you're not going to get a lot of window flags anyways.
I was going to say, how well are those like mall kiosks going to do that sell those?
Oh, I guarantee it.
You're going to find them here at the Capitol PTBO.
100 points if I can get a call back from Nike. Hey, Nike, sell us your stuff. We're into it.
Well, it's kind of cool thinking that this is the first step in a process. Canada makes it to this World Cup. You know they're going to be in the next World Cup because we're part of the host effort.
That's right.
So now all of a sudden you start building. So you know for a fact going in that regardless of how it turns out, this isn't like a 1986 where you sort of lose and then you're gone again.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if Canada, I mean, let's be honest, it's never going to be a superpower. But that said, do we have enough now? Do we pay enough attention? Do we invest enough funds into maintaining ourselves as a top 40 team?
It's funny that you mentioned that because Herdman...
He believes they could be a power.
Herdman says they can.
Yeah.
Why not? Like, that's why.
Well, I guess maybe why not? Maybe a guy like him who is he's a football lifer and he's got the right accent to be successful. And for Canadian sports, if we're going to bring somebody that's soccer related, he's either got to be, or she, has to be European to some degree, either has to speak has an English accent or like Dutch, German, so that you can believe it.
Little credibility.
Maybe he does, and he looks like at a country like Canada, and he thinks, it's a 33 million population. It's not a huge country. They're 90th in the world. I think I can build these guys a super team.
The challenge is always with the United States, because I've always made the argument that, they should be better. Like, they should be more competitive.
100%.
One, the appetite just isn't there. And two, they would always argue that their best athletes will never turn to soccer first. They'll go to football. They'll go to basketball. They'll even go to, like, track, probably.
You could say that about Canada with hockey, though.
That's exactly my point. So when they say, are we going to be a power, that's where I'm like, okay, well, are our best athletes going to start turning that page?
Yeah.
And then someone would argue, well, Canada's growing more diverse. And a lot of people who come from different places, soccer and being a soccer star is a great thing. So, again, Canada as the cultural mosaic that it is, that's going to probably pay off really well. And I think you can see that in the makeup of this national team.
That's right.
Versus the one that's kind of like over on the wall here.
Yeah, no kidding.
A bunch of white dudes running around, right?
Sure.
And now there's much more in the way of diversity, and I love it.
I think it's terrific, too. I think that I really like the idea of Canada being a top 40, top 30 soccer country.
It. Just stay there. You know what? I'm never like top 20, probably not going to happen.
Sure.
But that being said, like if you could just stay in the top 40, you're going to get an outside shot at the World Cup every time. I'm good.
How big is it a growth opportunity-wise? I mean, to be now in the 30s and to be on the precipice now of going to Qatar, understanding that you've got the host entry, but they're not going to back in.
Yeah.
I guess you would hope, obviously, that Herdman can.
Herdman obviously is a great coach. I mean,
correct.
Look what he did with the women's program.
Right.
And now he's.
And I think getting back to your thing about the U.S., I think that they needed that, especially, and I don't want to say like America needs that, but it helps when you have Brandy Chastain's moment, 99, and it's on the public ledger, and it was 100,000 people at the Rose Bowl get to watch it against China. So they have that moment, that Sports Illustrated moment, and along comes a generation of women's soccer between Canada and America that have been terrific, the best on the planet.
On the men's side, it just hasn't happened.
On the men's side, it doesn't happen. So for whatever reason, the Americans never had their moment. Neither has Canada, but
no,
maybe we can now. Like if they get to the knockout stage and win one.
Well, that's just it.
Holy smokes! All you got to do is win one. That jeepers.
Canada's biggest battle, and it's kind of similar to what they face in basketball, where guys don't really want to play for Team Canada. But in soccer, it's more so many guys have dual citizenship and they just play for another country. Like Alphonso Davies can play for Ghana.
Right.
But he doesn't. He plays for Canada. And you got to get more guys with that dual citizenship playing for Canada. And I think they're well on their way to doing that.
Interesting stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun. You mentioned the tournament not till November, which I had to be reminded of. And I was like, because
what's going on with that?
Well, it's too hot.
I think it's like 125 degrees on the surface.
Oh, whatever.
In July.
Who cares?
I am going to miss it, though. There was something charming about the summertime, 2 games a day for like a month and a half.
Absolutely. Summertime, too. And Carlsberg eventually makes its way back.
Yeah.
The Vuvuzelas.
Right? The Vuvuzelas, for sure. But nobody hears from Carlsberg forever. And every 4th year, though, they come out. Boom, they must just blow the advertising budget. You buy 2 Carlsbergs for every World Cup game. Every banner's Carlsberg. I can't wait. I love Carlsberg. It's terrific.
Auston Matthews has joined a very elite company with the Toronto Maple Leafs. So when you think of the pantheon of the great players and one of the greatest franchises that ever existed in professional hockey, Dave Keon, Darryl Sittler, you know, even into the Wendell Clark and Doug Gilmour and Matt Sundin and some other trailblazers before that, Teeter Kennedy and Norm Ullman. No, he's not joining those ranks. He's joining the ranks of Rick Vive, Gary Lehman, and Dave Anderchuk.
Which is
talk about a weird group of players.
Super hard group to get in for whatever reason it is.
First center, by the way, to ever do it.
First center, yeah.
Amazing stuff.
He's among the top 2 Leafs of all time.
I think so.
Is it harder? Is it harder because all of the heroes from the Leafs, aside from in the 70s, you had a brief glimpse, right? You had a young Lanny, you had a 77 upset of the Islanders, but that was like your crescendo moment. You had like Wendell Clark hitting Bruce Bell behind the net, which was like the crescendo moment of 86. And then that was it until you got to Pat Burns. Is that hard when there's such a gap to say? I mean, because the guys in the 50s and 60s are all the champs.
Yeah.
I think so. Dave Keon, a beauty for a generation of people.
All I can say is watching hockey as long as I have, he is the most dynamic and the most talented player that I've seen the Toronto Maple Leafs have. Except for maybe, and I'm a little bit young, but Gilmore, 92-93, runner-up for the Hart Trophy, 130-plus points. Different, though.
Absolutely different.
Auston Matthews is a different kind of cat and a different kind of X factor. And we were talking about this, Matt, because he might score 60 goals, which hasn't been done since Steven Stamkos. Yeah. And when I think of Steven Stamkos, I think of a bona fide goal scorer, but I don't think of the same guy as Auston Matthews.
No.
To me, Auston Matthews, I mean, physically can take over. I think he's just a better overall hockey player than Steven Stamkos ever was.
I think Steve's had a lot of unfortunate injuries, too. That have clouded some pretty tough campaigns.
I never went into a series, though, even in their day, where I was like, okay, I think Stamkos is going to be the best player in this Eastern Conference final.
Absolutely right.
I think Auston Matthews easily could.
I think he
easily
could, too. Yeah,
but they have to win a series.
Well, true.
Yeah, I think.
And he's got to show up in the playoffs, and that's going to be a lot of the conversation. But
I think, and going back to what we talked about last week, how I think the Leafs are going to do it.
And by do it, win the Stanley Cup.
Or at least get there.
Yeah.
I think that getting Mitch is firing, and also the vitriol for Mitch last year to have him, killed at high noon was unbelievable. The boys are all a year older. What I want is put some respect now on Matthews' name.
Yeah.
It's time. This kid's a 50-goal scorer, and he will be a perennial 50-goal scorer. He's not a flash in the pan. He's not a small man.
He would have done it probably a couple of years ago without the pandemic shutdown.
Sure.
Yeah.
And he plays with a guy who is probably, loosely said, he's probably one of the foremost hockey IQs on the planet in Marner. And that's not hyperbole in any way. You look at some of that goal that he assisted on from, and I would just know, from Bunting or somebody else, where he dekes the goal, he brings him left, right, brings it to the left, and then drops it back into the front of the crease, and the guy puts it in. Nobody thinks like he does. So when you play with a guy the way Matthews plays, at 50 goals, Matthews has to be the number one. He's going to be the best of all time. It'll just be a matter of, if he stays 7 years, I don't think that changes my mind. Whereas Gilmore was only here for 2.
Yeah.
But he was a Tiger. The difference with Dougie is that he didn't have that mantra coming in either.
No.
He had a very tough exit in St. Louis, and they won a Stanley Cup in 89 with Calgary, and he had the 90-some points. He was right there. The guy was a Tiger. But he wasn't the heart and soul dude.
If Calgary had known he was going to score 130 points,
guaranteed they
probably
never
wouldn't
got
have
rid of
traded him.
Sure.
But Auston Matthews, too, I'm not on the runaway Auston Matthews for Selke train, but it is apparent that he is a really good both-way hockey player. And I think that separates him from some of the top tier, too. And I think right now, Shesterkin has sort of stepped back a little bit in terms of the historic numbers and save percentage he was putting up. So I think the betting line favorite right now is Auston Matthews. And if the Leafs get to 50 wins, which they've never done in franchise history, if they get out of a wild card spot, so finish either second or third, or maybe even first, I think Auston Matthews, hands down, has to be the Hart Trophy winner.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't think that there's any reason. There's nobody that's standing in his way.
Yeah, right now he's plus 180 for Hart Trophy odds, and second is
McDavid?
McDavid at plus 275.
Well, McDavid's always going to be in the
chat. He's always going to be in the conversation. Can we at some point, is that, when does that narrative die? If Edmonton doesn't make the postseason, are we really going to continue to talk about Connor's a special talent? There's been special talents before. There's been generational talents before. I don't remember who it was at the beginning of it was Gretz. Gretz at the beginning of the year saying things like, Edmonton's close. Then between them and Toronto, it's neck and neck. Is it?
Not right now.
If they miss
Give me the Leafs in a 7-game series over the Oilers 10 times out of 10.
100%. Yeah, give me the money line on that. I'll buy. You can't continue to give me McDavid as the generational talent and the kid misses the postseason.
It's going to get to be Mike Trout style very quickly.
50% of the teams make it. At least in baseball, there's one team that wins the AL West and you get a wild card. So I can understand how Mike can't throw the ball. I mean, he's going to hit fourth and he's going to mash and he's going to 40-40 club and he's going to be an unbelievable center fielder. He's going to do all these other things. Same with Shohei.
A great hockey player has more of an influence on a team than
Has to.
a great baseball player who's only
Absolutely.
up once every 9 times.
I mean,
kidding.
Right now, Edmonton's in a playoff spot, and they only have 5 less wins than the Leafs.
Okay. And
So
they're
I
playing.
think it's closer than I think we expect Edmonton to be like this dominant team because of who's on there.
And because they had 6 first-round draft picks in a row, and
Yeah, but Yakupov sucked.
I know he did.
Then they
That
traded
does
away the
happen
one
every now and then.
That does, yeah. Check out that draft year. The
then
whole
they traded
draft
the-
sucked.
They got rid of the one that won a Hart Trophy.
Oh, but
Taylor
get
Hall.
out of here. Taylor Hall was filthy.
He's
Edmonton.
just punching dudes now.
Yeah, right. He's going Bertuzzi on dudes. Give me a break on Taylor Hall. That guy was junk.
I think Edmonton's better than you guys are giving him credit for. I think this is a team that with McDavid they've gone past the first round.
Yeah, and
The Leafs can't say that. They can't. They can't beat. Couldn't beat Montreal.
hold
They
on.
can't beat Boston.
We were
can't
just
beat
talking
Washington.
about why you don't like rankings because it's what have you done for me lately. I'm thinking right now as we look at this very second, I think Toronto is far and away a better team. And look at the division they're in. Look at who they're slugging with.
That's the thing. The division is much better.
Look
You-
at
you're
if you
slugging
get
with-
50 wins in a division that's basically going to have 4 teams with
That-
50 wins. That's
And has
crazy.
the back-to-back Stanley Cup champs in your bracket. It has the perennial Boston Bruins. Don't forget, this is a Leaf team that Leafs had they had the Habs down 3-1. They've taken the Capitals to 7 games when Matthews was 20 years old. Right? It's not like they've got into the first round and just laid down, go ahead and have at me. No, they never have. They've pushed every series to 7 games. Now, Montreal pushed them to 7 last year. Okay, fine. It happens. Sometimes you lose. Give me a break on Edmonton made it out of the opening round. Forget that.
I'm just saying. I think the Oilers are better than you guys are giving them credit for.
Yeah, wow.
Maybe,
Well, I don't think
maybe
they're
Gretzky's also
bad.
just biased because he played there forever.
Well, I don't think they're bad, but I don't look at them right now as a threat in the West. Do you? Are they with Colorado? Are they even with Calgary?
Aren't you checking Sports Center or whatever one you watch? Aren't you waiting to see the current playoff standings to see if Edmonton's in it?
They are right now.
Yeah, I
They're
know.
in a playoff
But
spot.
that's what I mean. You've got to watch every night to make sure.
Yeah.
And not to mention, I think the top wildcard team has more points than Edmonton does currently.
Yeah, but part of that's because that division, playoff-wise, at least it's easier to miss the playoffs. And in the Atlantic, the top 4 teams are going to make it, and they're 20 points ahead of everybody else. Almost 30.
Speaks for itself
No kidding.
because that's who the Leafs are racking up wins against. And I think that win over Boston, by the way, regular season in Boston, I think that was actually a big one.
And you,
That
I
is,
think
yeah.
you noticed something about Boston.
yeah,
And they're going to try and muddy it up no matter what.
sure.
But I feel like there was a different tone to that game.
The Leafs are up 6-1. Okay, they let in, a 6-2. They go into the third period, let in 2 more. Okay, fine. Swayman, trust me, he's not your guy. Bruins 9-1-1 going into that game, get beat. Florida 9-1-1 going into their game with the Leafs, get beat. Okay, the Leafs, they play down to Montreal, they get beat. They play down to some. That's their kryptonite. They just do that. Detroit comes in and they can't stop a puck. Neither could Detroit, mind you, like a 10-7er and then an 11-2.
I was going to
Yeah.
say.
Ooh.
If the playoffs start today, Leafs play Tampa Bay. Are they getting out of the first round? I don't know that they are against
Oh
Tampa.
God, that makes me so mad. And not what you're saying, Latour, in any way.
Just
Just
that
like
scenario,
just
yeah.
that setup.
It's like the AL East in baseball.
You're losing 2 good teams out of the gate. And I'm not saying that the Leafs should get preferential. I would love it if they got Florida. I would love the storyline if they got Carolina, but I don't want Carolina because the storyline for Freddie personally is going to be Y'all thought I can't do it.
Beat your old team in 4.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
Speaking of 4, Final Four weekend, Saturday, we're expecting 2 great matchups. The first one is going to be Villanova and Kansas. The late game, the primetime matchup, is going to be Duke and North Carolina. Is Graham Elliott cemented the victory yet here? Because I'm nervous about that.
The Capital PTBO $1 million bracket challenge has come down to the final weekend, which is terrific. So we do have Graham Elliott, Jared Brandon, Matt Latour.
He's still in the mix.
All have Kansas to win tonight or tomorrow night, and Kansas to win Monday.
Yeah.
So neither can leapfrog Graham at this point. But that's how it would go. It would be 1, 2, 3. Now we have a couple of guys that are laying in the weeds. One, Andrew Marshall. He's got Duke Saturday, Duke on Monday. So Elliott's got such a lead that he can't be caught now. If Duke wins. Marshall will finish first, Elliott second, and a young Mark Million.
Wow.
Who off the mat on page 3 of every update gets himself into 3rd place.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Correct. And I have never done either of those two things personally. But in the NCAA pool I have.
I think the best scenario is that you get Kansas Duke with Coach K losing on the big stage.
Yeah.
I would love it.
Losing.
If you guys thought I was insufferable after starting 8-0, the greatest beginning in the history of the Capital PTBO March Madness Bracket Challenge, I'm going to be even worse if I rise from the ashes to finish 3rd. Like, I don't even want Kansas to win now because I'm going to hate myself. I am on a heater in this building.
Well, these are 4 of the most storied programs. When you look back, Villanova's won it twice in the last little bit, 3 times overall. This is the first Final Four where all 4 teams have at least 3 national championships in their history.
I'm surprised that hasn't happened before.
Well, the list is small, though.
That's right.
I mean, it's UCLA, it's Kentucky, it's Duke, Villanova, Kansas, and UNC. Nobody else has 3, I don't think. My Michigan State has 2.
2, yeah.
Yeah. I guess.
I'm not entirely convinced I'm not entirely convinced that Villanova has what it takes to beat Kansas. I don't.
Couple of injuries too.
Couple of injuries late, yeah. So that's going to certainly hurt. But I was surprised at the number, and I'm just going to the number here now. Kansas at 4.5 and Duke at 4. So Duke maybe. I mean, I don't know if there's any sort of numbers about what's the record of a team that has when you see them the second time around. This will be the second time in a month.
Yeah,
that Duke's seen UNC. Maybe the moment was bigger, but I think that would be hard to argue. I think this is a pretty big moment for either franchise. If Duke loses, is K cemented? That's it. I'm finished. Or does he have unfinished business? Does he like unretire, which is the new thing to do?
Just does a Tom Brady.
Just pulls it. This is a national thing.
Yeah.
Shout out to The Hustle. If you're not reading The Hustle newsletter, trust me, you're missing out. But this is like a national sort of the unretiring. Does he have anything to come back for? No.
No, not at all.
Right?
He's got nothing to prove.
Nothing.
I'm going to come across like a Duke hater here, and I do hate them, so I don't care. Didn't you expect them to have more than 5 championships over this run?
It
shocked me. I thought at least 7.
Yeah.
Like he's been there for 40 years.
Yeah, I think there's a long history in there, though, where they're brutal.
Yeah. No, I get that part of it, but it just shocked me when I looked on paper and I saw, 91, 92, and then not again until I think 01.
01, yeah.
And then I guess 2011, 2015? Is it some sort of...
Yeah, it is.
But there was a while where I'm like, because in my mind, and it's a testament to them, is that in my memory, they're always in the Final Four. They were always in the championship game. I know they lost a close one to UConn.
That's right.
Back in the day. It seems like when they get there, though, they do really well.
Yeah, I think it's something like 22% of the finals or something that Coach K he's been in on. But they're very much like I look at Duke and again, I don't follow college basketball until it's time. It's the same as the Yankees. they're very much the same sort of program where the Yankees have great run, and then there's a 15 years while Don Mattingly's entire career where they win nothing.
And they win the year after he retires.
They win the year before he comes to the big leagues and the year after he retires. So in the same with Duke. 5 is, I mean, it's not John Wooden.
Yeah.
But Johnny's
impressive.
It's impressive, certainly. What Wooden did was unbelievable. Again, the team, though. The guys
the
that he
team,
had.
and back then, I believe the brackets were done exclusively based on geography.
Correct.
And UCLA was far and away the best team on the West Coast.
Right.
So they were going to be there more often than not, just based on. But obviously, when they got there, they won.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Good for them.
Who do you have? Who's your final?
I think it's Duke, Kansas. And then just because I don't want it to happen, I feel like Duke's going to win. And it's going to be this riding off on a horse moment, which I just would make me so physically ill to watch. And then Rick Elliott, super fan of Duke, going to come rolling in there talking about the glory days with Bobby Early and Christian Laettner.
Get out of here.
I said this last week. Rick Elliott cheers for every insufferable sports team.
Yeah.
He cheers for the Bruins, Celtics, Cowboys, and Duke.
What happened to the Patriots? He fell off there?
Yeah.
Oh, and he likes Notre Dame football.
Oh, wow. You tell him that if they win, I've got a Notre Dame hoodie with his name on it. It's $45.
$55 for him.
Wow.
His favorite actor is also Will Smith. You get a load of this?
Come on.
I have never in my life been so consumed with something pop culture as the Will Smith smack of Chris Rock at the Academy Awards.
Yeah.
To the point where I've overdone it, I think, Matt. Like, it's all I'm talking about in the morning.
Really?
Oh, who said this? Oh, Jim Carrey said this. Oh, Spit and Chiclet said that.
No kidding.
I've been all over it.
Oh, my God. I see. Yeah, and you came here today while we were just spitballing before we started, and there's new developments.
New developments.
I've not heard anything.
So where are you at in the story other than it happened?
Okay, so...
And then they exchanged sort of lame apologies on social media.
I seen Will's apology only.
Yeah.
I don't know if Rock would have nothing to apologize for.
He did, though, which I thought was lame.
Sure. So I didn't know that. I do have a take on that. I saw Will's apology. I think that's probably where I'm at. And then, I mean, everybody in the universe has. I watched, what's the kid's name from Entertainment? The guy's name from Entertainment Tonight, Kevin Furland.
Okay.
I watched his take on Rome, which was great.
Rome did great on it.
Oh, terrific.
Like he always does.
Rome's such a pro. It's unbelievable.
He literally started his sports talk show on Monday with this topic,
the Oscars.
which goes to show you like how big it is.
Yeah.
Elite Eight just got played.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's next? What's the latest? And why does it matter to me?
The latest is
it doesn't matter
that the producer, Will Packer, they brought in this special producer, young hip guy, wanted to speed up the show, make it less stuffy.
Yeah.
He did an interview with Good Morning America, and he talked a little bit about, I think that's him right there. Is he calling in?
Is he calling in? Is that live?
I think it's Jordan's phone.
That's a wacky number right there.
It's him from California.
So he comes out and says, originally they said, okay, well, the Academy comes out with a very lame statement afterwards, says we don't condone violence. Okay, we think that's over. No, it's not over. They're getting so much heat from their own membership that they need to ratchet it up a bit and say, okay, we're launching a formal review, which coincides with Will Smith's apology. Funny how that works.
Sure.
Which, of course, wasn't made the night of. He didn't apologize to Chris Rock.
Nobody said anything. Yeah.
So then, you roll into Wednesday, and all of a sudden there's, the Academy has said that they did ask Will Smith to leave, and he refused. I don't believe that for a second. I don't believe it for a second. Because what did they do? Go up to him? Excuse me, sir. Like, you
Mr.
leave?
Smith?
Oh, no? Okay. I'm going to walk away.
Yeah, go ahead. Oh, we're back? Okay.
Then it comes that, okay, we asked him to leave, but we did it through his publicist, who then said he refused. And then today, Will Packer says the LAPD was actually backstage saying, we want to take him out because of battery. But it was Chris Rock who had the level head saying, guys, no. No, I don't want that to happen. It would make things even worse.
Yeah.
The situation. All I know is that Will Smith is a psychopath, and that is not a normal response to that situation in that scenario. And I don't want to hear the toxic defending my wife stuff.
Sure.
Because this isn't, the 1800s. Jada Pinkett Smith has more than enough skin in the game. She's loud enough. She's someone who's very articulate, very intelligent. If she had an issue with Chris Rock, she could have beaked him, and or Will could have, said something maybe in private. So I don't subscribe to that theory at all. Will Smith's a psychopath. That was not this is Tom Cruise jumping on the couch, where you're kind of like, okay, this is a guy I thought I knew and I thought I liked, and now I think he's really weird, and I'll never look at him the same way. I will never look at Will Smith the same way. Ever.
It's very strange. You're right. What's the next play for him, and how do you get out from under or behind this?
I'm going to offer Will Smith a piece of PR advice, because it's his peers more than the fans. Like, it's hard to gauge on social media. There was an article that came out in a newspaper, the New York Post, I think, where it said, oh, more fans are actually on Will Smith's side. I don't believe that for a second. But the opinion that matters is his peers. Who's come out and slammed him? I mean, obviously the major talking heads, if you get on The View and Joe Rogan and Howard Stern and all this stuff. But it's Jim Carrey. It's, Larry Wilmore. It's even Richard Williams himself came out and said that he didn't think that was the way it should be handled. But it's other actors, the comedians weighing in. If you go after Chris Rock, Rob Schneider's weighed in, David Spade's weighed in, Adam Sandler's weighed in, all of whom said that it was absolutely absurd. And the Jim Carrey stance might have been the first one that was really loud out there, where he said that he would have sued him for $200 million because he said that embarrassment, that shame is going to be there forever. You're not getting rid of that video. The pictures, the memes are everywhere. By the way, top 5 day in the history of the internet. The day after.
Right.
With the different videos and the commentaries, and the different angles.
There's an
and the
animated
memes.
one with Chris Rock as the zebra and Will Smith as the fish. Who thinks of that?
I think there's a few things here at play. I find it fascinating, and I can't get enough of it, about what that behind the scenes would have looked like, sounded like, felt like. So Smith's walking back to the seat. Immediate carnage in the truck. Immediately. Phone calls are starting to get made. This guy's 6 minutes away from winning Best Actor.
And everyone knows it.
Everyone knows it. It was like, it was on the carpet. People knew that this was the crescendo moment for Will. He doesn't do a single red carpet interview. Beelines it right to a seat. It's like, I gotta get there. In the speech, he expresses his regret for everybody but Rock, but understands he's made a colossal mistake. Especially now in this moment of, he's hit his peak, and 6 minutes ago he just slapped a dude. So that's difficult, and I can appreciate that. You can't throw him out, but you can't censor the comedian. That's unbelievable. That's an unbelievable parallel, that Best Actor goes to Will Smith. Will's not able to accept the award tonight, as he's being taken out in handcuffs.
That's what Wanda Sykes said should have happened.
Sure.
She said it was the grossest thing, and for people to then give him a standing ovation when he won the award. But this is the thing, Mark. When you're a powerful man, and Will Smith in that room is what, top 10 most famous people in the world, probably?
He's of a colossal stature.
He did what he did, and no one even thought twice about the idea of kicking him out, where he just went back to his seat. The truck is still using him and Jada as cutaway shots for commercials, and they're laughing and having a great time. That's insane to me. And it's insane to me that the producers actually, while the North American feed was being muted, which is what happened, they're actually zooming in on Will, who is screaming the obscenities.
Yeah.
And that's why some people, not me, and I don't think any reasonable people, but some people thought it was a work, because they're like, wouldn't you have gone to bars? Wouldn't you have stayed on an ISO on Chris Rock?
Yeah.
Instead of actually lighting the fuse a little bit.
Is the censoring of the comedian the absolute biggest? This is the biggest part of the equation that you absolutely cannot be on side with.
It's where we're going, sadly, I think.
Oh my gosh.
And that's sad. And I think we've already gone there in many respects. But Ricky Gervais, who a lot of people said one of the great award show hosts in terms of the roasting that he's been able to do.
That Golden Globes, I can't even say it with, like, when he tells the Judi Dench joke and he stops,
Yeah.
I still pop every single time I think of it.
They asked him, if you had made that joke about Jada Pinkett Smith, do you think Will would have come up and slapped you? And he said, absolutely not, because I never would have made a joke about her hair. I would have made one about her boyfriend's hair.
Yeah, sure.
Because that's part of the Smith equation, right? Is that Jada came out and there's an entanglement.
Yeah.
And she was dating a young dude who's like her son's age.
Right.
And so this is a family that has been very upfront with a lot of this stuff. If you're going to do that,
Yeah.
you're not drawing the line at the alopecia joke. I just don't think you can.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know.
And on the other side of that coin, I think that's where Rock's going with when he cuts himself off. Like, I could,
Oh, yeah.
like, there was so much more meat that he could have attacked Smith. Not attacked, but he could have. And it would have been, he handled it like a pro, like unbelievably. He got slapped in front of 110 million people. Way, way, way unexpected.
Which sucks, but
He
has been commended for not only his chin for taking it from a much bigger guy.
What if he had to decide to throw down?
Oh, yeah. It would have to be close.
Oh, my God.
Like if someone does that to you, like...
I understand, but what happens on TV then?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously,
then you got
cut away,
Denzel
then it's-
running in. You got Bradley Cooper running in.
And so that's what happened in the break, right?
Yeah.
Cooper's in his ear and Denzel's in his ear about, listen. Denzel obviously gave him that bit about, when you're at your peak is when the devil will come for you type thing.
Right.
Okay. Great advice. Maybe half an hour ago.
Too much time on the Macbeth set.
No kidding.
So here, I'm going to give advice, then we're going to go on. We got WrestleMania trivia, by the way. I knew we were going to go on today. I'm going to give Will Smith a piece of advice if he wants to at least do a little bit of management here.
Okay.
Look into the camera.
Will, here's what you got to do. You got to pledge $10 million of your own money.
Wow.
Okay? To some sort of violence charity, non-for-profit, people against violence, black men against violence, whatever the case. $10 million. And as part of it, it is a Comedy Central roast hosted by Chris Rock. And you show the world that you can invite the meanest, shrewdest dudes, and you just sit there and you take your medicine in front of absolutely everybody.
I think, okay, I like it.
Come on. I'll do the Don Cherry.
Is he offside or not?
Awesome idea. 10 million your own money, Will. Put it up.
Get out of here.
I'm all in.
What's with the
that
phone
Will
calls?
calling?
That's Will calling right now.
You guys got to put these on.
I know. What's
Disturb.
happening?
What are we doing here?
What's happening? People don't understand.
Mine is. It just comes up on the Apple.
Yeah, I know. It popped up on my screen. Threw me off.
I don't know. I don't know how. I mean, obviously everybody gets by it. And I mean, by everybody, I mean the people that are involved. But I don't see how.
He's forever going to be remembered because of this. I'm telling you, he's past that weird point.
Is there a part of it too? And I don't want to defend him in this way, but I think he's under an unbelievable amount of pressure. Will Smith.
To win an Academy Award, there's like a year-long campaign of doing every single thing. It was a choice to put out the memoir when they did.
That's true.
It was a choice to do the Jada Pinkett Smith sit down on the couch entanglement stuff when they did. It was a choice to put out the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air behind the scenes thing. This is all part of a very collaborated effort to build steam towards the Academy Awards. So you're right. He was under pressure and maybe he snapped.
Yeah.
But then to not recognize that a half hour later and come out and be like, Chris Rock, get out on this stage right now because we are going to make good right this second. Instead, it was one of the weirdest,
Love makes you do crazy things.
Uncomfortable. Yeah.
Come on.
Even O.J. Simpson said it was too far.
OJ did?
The juice weighed in on it.
When you're telling me that the juice says it's too far, that violence was too far for the juice?
The juice.
Give me a break.
The juice said in his video, look, I understand what you're kind of going through because every comedian in the world had an OJ routine, but you just got to take it.
You just got to take it like, ha ha ha, get that OJ guy, eh? Killed his wife and his partner, bum. Like, no, it's because he did it.
Some people have the JFK assassination. I have the Will Smith, Chris Rock. I've watched it every angle. I've slowed it down. Is this fake? Is that what, like...
The bullet went
everywhere.
this way, trajectory's this way.
They're still
Back
making
into
OJ
the right.
jokes. Dave Chappelle's like return special had 3 OJ jokes in it. That was like 5 years ago.
I think from a comedian, you talk about censoring the comedian. I think if that situation plays out now, you wouldn't get a lot of jokes about someone accused of murder the way you did with O.J. Simpson. Because it literally, Leno, Letterman, like everyone every night was talking about that.
Because he did it.
Because he did it.
The only people who didn't, who they found all 12 people in Broward County to say that Oj didn't do it. Everybody else in America knew. Can you still touch it on national, like late night TV now?
OJ?
No.
Oh, the
Will
Smith?
and Chris.
I think everyone's done a fairly good job.
Yeah.
They're all scared of Will showing up.
And they're all comedians.
And they're all comedians.
So they're going to lend to that side all the time.
Right.
It's fascinating.
That's hard.
To me, and it's something that's just consumed me. Hey, you know what else consumed me back when I was a kid? Wrestlemania. That is the topic for the Flashback Friday quiz.
They hand it off to Johnson. Boise State has won the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl. Can you believe it?
Here's strike ball one. Here comes the pitch. Strike three. A no-hitter, a perfect game for John Larson. Henderson made a wild stab towards the bell. Here's another shot. Right by the score. And it does. And scores for Canada. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier.
We're seeing what this guy is really made of. What he is. The greatest professional athlete in the world today. Look at this. He's
All right, gentlemen, the topic is WrestleMania. And the reason why, Matt Latour, is it's WrestleMania weekend.
2 days of WrestleMania coming up. Tomorrow night a date, Sunday night a date.
2 days?
It's
They do 2 days now.
They started that in 2020 during the pandemic.
Oh.
One day's not enough. And before that, it was literally like it turned into like an 8-hour extravaganza with like 5 hours of dark
I think
matches.
it's better split up as 2 days because they were doing way too much in one day.
Okay. I know this is Latour's moment here, but listen.
But it's not.
This is
The
Will.
scales
This
have
is
been-
his Will Smith moment.
Yeah,
over there.
listen.
The scales have been unevenly tipped here.
The scales have been even.
No, they have not.
Every week, Mercier comes in with the sports topic.
Usually
and then
baseball.
last week, it's not sports. That was World Cup. That doesn't count. It
It's a
happens.
sporting event every 4 years.
Yeah,
Screw the Olympics.
that's the problem. It only happens every 4 years. And now WrestleMania, which is like not a sport.
But it's
let's-
WrestleMania is before I watch the wrestling.
Wait,
That's-
okay, yeah. So is there a qualifier here? What WrestleMania is?
I was a faithful wrestling fan and am very articulate in matters from 1987 through 2002, which would
Okay.
run you from WrestleMania 3 through 18. However, I did go back, and there is a question from WrestleMania 1.
Oh, come on.
And actually, there is one question that might stretch further out, but it features stars from a particular era. I had to get creative here because it was difficult. I pitched this, Mark. Tell me if you thought this was a good idea.
Okay.
I told Matt that I should have made all the WrestleMania related questions kind of sports spin-offy.
Yeah.
As in
No.
Mike Tyson,
Yeah.
Lawrence Taylor,
Yeah.
like blah. But he decided that wasn't going to be the case. Mark, have you ever watched a WrestleMania actually live when it was going on? Pay-per-view.
I watched when Jesse told Gorilla. When he put Andre up and
So you
over.
watched number 3.
I watched 3. I'll tell you, this is a true story. Ryan Hogan. So the Hogan family, we were the best of friends. This is 1987. And they had one of those big, dirty satellites. And they had a pool. It was rad. In ground at that. So it's April 1987. It's coming on. we're going to WrestleMania. We go downstairs. We're all in like the TVs, like a moderate TV, whatever. We're all there. And like, here comes Hulk and Andre. And it's like bedtime, but we're up and it's rad. And my dad had got from my grandfather, who worked at PTBO paper converters, we used to get these massive rolls of paper. And they'd be like 4 feet wide by 1,000 feet. And we'd color on them and whatever. The Hogans had a pool table. We laid the paper out. I made an axe costume from Demolition, drew it out, punched the eye holes, had it, tied it around me with I don't even remember what. Demolition. We also went to SummerSlam those years. They were good times.
My favorite tag team of all time, Demolition, Axe and Smash.
The best.
It was a simpler time when there wasn't cell phones and internet.
My gosh.
All right, gentlemen, here we go. Are we ready? Oh, my God. Matt, are you ready? You've been talking a big game.
Yeah.
Wait.
Unfairly.
There's a caveat here, right? We're gonna take turns here. You can't jump in every time with your nerd answer, right?
Yeah.
Latour, I'm serious.
Everything is in your favor in this.
What do you mean?
You watched the WrestleManias that were doing the
I just told you I watched one. When I was 8 years old, I wasn't watching SummerSlam. I was playing road hockey.
All right.
Okay, that's
First WrestleMania was a major pop culture crossover. Give me the 5 celebrities that had official roles as part of the card. So there were other celebrities in the building, but there were 5 people that actually had different roles, be it enforcer, referee, timekeeper.
Okay, I have one.
Mark, you can go first.
Donald Trump.
No.
The guy's in every WrestleMania but that one. Give me a break.
He did host 4 and 5, though.
Yeah, that's right. He did. Like right at his spot.
Give me Mr. T.
Mr. T would be one of them, and actually, he was so obvious I didn't even put him on this list. So there's actually 6. So Mr. T.
A minute.
Mr. T.
Sylvester Stallone.
No.
Give me a break here.
Thunder Lips or whatever.
Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali was an enforcer outside the ring for the main event.
Oh my gosh. I'm trying to think like who would have been.
I think one of them should be obvious.
William Perry.
No, but he was at number 2.
Billy Martin.
Billy Martin was a ring announcer.
The Yankees manager, Billy Martin. Oh my gosh. I have his book on the wall there.
All right.
Okay. So far,
got Muhammad Ali, Mr. T.
Yeah, I don't have any of those.
Billy Martin.
Okay.
One of your all-time favorite musicians.
Michael Jackson.
No.
It was not, by the way.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. I know he's not a musician.
No.
But he wasn't there.
Steve Perry.
What?
We got a couple Facebook comments I've read,
Okay.
so I don't want to use those.
I'm thinking we might need to go to those.
Yeah, and they count for Mark Million.
So you can tie the question?
It's my show.
Give me a break.
So we got 3
That's
over
true.
here. You guys both tap out, and then we'll go to the Facebook.
Yeah, I'm tapped out.
Okay.
I can't think of anyone.
Okay,
else.
I'm going to go with 2 more.
He's literally on his phone.
I'm on the home screen. It keeps vibrating. Sorry.
Oh my!
This guy's got
Okay,
$1 million
how about
deals coming
Tina
in here.
Turner?
Nope.
Okay. How about Bruce Willis?
No.
Chevy Chase.
Too soon.
Yeah,
No.
forget it.
Eddie Murphy.
No.
Will Smith.
No.
All right. You want to hear the Facebook
Yeah.
comments?
Merle Haggard.
Shane Sayer says Cyndi Lauper.
Yes.
Oh,
She was in Wendy Richter's corner. And she was, that was a big deal, the partnership between WWF and MTV. And she was kind of at the front of it. Cyndi Lauper, yes.
Liberace?
Liberace?
Yeah.
I can't.
That's
read.
who I had as one of your favorite musicians of all
Get
time.
out of here.
Liberace, last but not least, the Rockettes. Like the dance troupe.
Okay, well.
Am I getting that point? What's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you mean? I got 0. Okay.
Liberace.
Latour's up 1-0.
Undertaker's famous streak of victories at WrestleMania began at WrestleMania 7. Who did he beat?
I actually know this one.
I'll let you take it.
Jimmy the Superfly Snuka.
It was a borderline squash against Jimmy Superfly Snuka.
I just lost my headphones over Celebration.
Oh,
That's my fault, and they're back. Don't worry.
right.
Actually, they're not.
Jeez.
But
You can still hear us, though, right, man?
I can still hear you. Now
All
we're
right.
playing under protest, though.
It was, in fact, Jimmy Superfly Snuka. All right, here we go. What matchup was the first main event to be featured at back-to-back WrestleManias 9 and 10? What was the first main event at back-to-back WrestleManias 9 and 10?
I think I know this, too. I really need my headset back.
I'm working on it. Hold on.
There.
Got it?
No.
No?
Fiddle
We
with
need
this.
a technical difficulties page here.
Okay, I got it now.
You got it? Okay.
Okay, say it again.
What matchup was the first to be the main event at back-to-back Manias 9 and 10? I don't even think Maddie knows this one.
You want to go first, Mark?
The same two guys
Yeah.
wrestled both times
Yeah.
at 9 and 10?
Yep. Caesar's Palace in Madison Square Garden.
I need this to work.
Oh.
I know one guy, but I don't think both guys were there.
I know it.
Okay, Yokozuna.
Yes, he's one of them.
Give me a break. See, he fought Hulk Hogan. Did he fight Hogan in both? Because I didn't think Hogan was there in 10.
No. In 9 at the end with some weird chicanery, yes, but that wasn't the featured main event.
So Yokozuna's right.
Yeah.
Undertaker. Yes.
Yokozuna, Bret Hart.
Yeah.
Give me a break. Okay, that's a split. Yokozuna.
No.
And I don't even have my headphones
There's
didn't
only
work.
one right answer.
That's a split.
No, it's not. The
Split.
question wasn't name the two guys. It was name the match.
Can I say the funniest part of the show so far is Matt trying to pronounce Liberace there?
Yeah, leave me be.
Liberus.
You guys just burying me because I'm about to win my second trivia in a row.
Oh, my. Can we get some? Can you find some Liberus to throw in here while we're all laughing? Like, is there like a musical interlude of Liberus? Oh my god!
He plays 14 beats to the bar on that piano. Hulk Hogan
Okay.
is 8-3-1 at the biggest show of the year. Give me his 3 losses. Bonus point if you can tell me the draw.
Ooh.
Or I think it was a double DQ. It was a double DQ.
Okay. I know this one too. Can I go first?
Yeah.
Ultimate Warrior beat him in number 6.
Yes, good for you. The
And-
ultimate challenge.
Ultimate Challenge. And Warrior was Intercontinental Champ and Hogan was Heavyweight Champ.
Title for title.
Yep.
The Rock beat him in WrestleMania 18 or 19?
18.
Okay.
Also in Toronto.
Now, in WrestleMania 4, Hogan had a double disqualification against Andre.
Oh, he's on fire right now.
Isn't that true?
I know.
Yes.
Because they had some, I remember being crushed as a kid because they had some stupid tournament.
Yeah.
And I don't even remember who won the stupid thing, but I
Macho
remember.
Man.
Oh, okay, Macho Man. I remember. Okay, is
That's
that
pretty
all?
good.
Is that all 3? Or there's another loss in there?
Yes, there's another loss in there. You're like Cliff Thorburn clearing the snooker table right now. And I'm impressed. I'm here for it.
Can I take the third loss?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ted DiBiase IRS.
Money.
Yes. Money Inc.
That was-
Disqualification at WrestleMania 9.
Okay, if I get a redeeming quality if I know what tag team he was on. If I know it. The Megamaniacs.
That could be true.
No.
Yeah, that is true.
No, it's true. Well, that's a win. Okay, Latour, we're
Brutus the
tied.
Barber Beefcake.
Yeah, we're tied.
The Mega Maniacs? I've never heard that in
That's
my life.
right. You never you see that? The old man brought one out of the bag.
I got to stop letting you go
That was
first.
like me firing Damien onto Andre.
By the way, one of Graham's favorite childhood memories is that tournament. He still talks about it. It was a double VHS. It was like 4 hours long.
We have a message from Barry Latour saying,
Yeah.
A for effort, worst rendition of any pronunciation I've ever heard.
Liver.
I'm
Liver
so
ants.
glad your dad listened to that. I really am.
All right. 2 more, just because I got a little bit greedy. I told you we were going long today, so you brought your stamina. That's good. Brothers Pizza, don't worry, we're on our way.
Okay.
Who wrestled at only 2 WrestleManias and ironically main evented both of them? He only ever fought at 2 WrestleManias, and he was in the main event of both.
Wow.
Man.
He wrestled at 2 and he main evented both.
Yes.
I feel like this is
This is a tough one. Can I go first?
please.
Vader.
No Vader.
Oh.
Right era.
Oh, so that's like in the crap era, like in the early 2000s?
No. Like mid-90s, late 90s.
Vader was in the mid 90s, was he?
Yeah.
Came over in 96.
Okay, I'm going to say, is Vader the right sort of like body image?
It's a monster heel.
Oh, monster heel.
It's a monster heel.
Oh,
I have 2 in my head, but I got to wait for Mark.
Andre the Giant.
No.
He wouldn't have fought in very many WrestleManias, though. That wasn't a
Like
bad guess,
4 or
was it? I
5.
didn't. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I have 2 guesses.
Yep.
Psycho Sid?
It is Sid Justice.
Oh,
Okay.
my goodness.
Psycho Sid.
My other one was Big John Studd.
At 8 and 13. So 8, he goes against Hogan.
That's
And
right.
then 13, he's the champ and loses to The Undertaker. And that was it for Sid.
Wow, so
Did
weird.
Big John Studd ever main event one?
No.
No.
He guest refereed one, though, Stud, I feel
Big
like.
John Studd did?
With Andre.
He lost the body slam challenge.
Body
at
Slam
like
versus, was it like $10,000?
15,000.
15. Huge money back then.
Last but not least here, okay. Give me the 2 matchups that have been seen at 3 different WrestleManias.
The 2 matchups that have been at 3 different Manias.
Yeah. Did I word that correctly? So there were,
So these guys fought each other
at 3 separate.
3 separate WrestleManias.
Yeah.
And there's 2 different pairings that
Yeah.
have done it.
Exactly.
Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels.
Only once.
In the Iron Man match? The limited amount of knowledge that I have that I drop on you guys about the first, I know it was the first Iron Man match. I know it was 61 minutes, and it's wrong.
Stone Cold Rock
Yes.
and Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns.
No.
What? No, they have. Does this weekend not count?
No.
Oh.
Hasn't even taken place yet, you bum.
Come on.
See what he's trying to do here?
Yeah, no kidding. Trying to big league the host. Okay. How about? I don't know. It's going to be one of those ones I didn't watch. Is Hulk
Guaranteed
Hogan
you
in
didn't
it?
watch. No.
I didn't. Oh. Okay.
I don't know if Hogan ever had a repeat opponent at WrestleMania. I feel like he didn't.
We would have repeated Andre twice.
Oh, yeah.
3 and
Back-to-back
4?
years,
I
yeah.
guess so, yeah.
Nah, you
didn't-
got to get this one. This is right in your sweet spot.
Oh, come
My
on.
sweet spot.
Yeah, should be.
Oh, Shawn Michaels Taker.
No, they only did twice.
Did they not? They didn't have one in the 90s, eh?
Nope. Did a Rumble.
Is the Taker one of them?
Yes.
Oh, no, I know it. Oh, no.
Okay. No, my chance. Undertaker and Kane.
No, but they did
Only
it twice.
Come on.
Undertaker, Triple H.
Yes.
Thank you.
First one was X7, and then they did a back-to-back.
At like 28, 29, something like that.
That's it, boys. Mark, I must say, though,
I
you
put it
stepped out
there.
of your realm.
I tried. What was the final tally? 4-3?
A valiant effort.
Oh, you don't want to count? Okay.
I can't count.
4-3.
I know. I
On a
think
technicality. 4 and 3.5.
Every week we do a TikTok video. I think this TikTok has to be the...
Liberance.
This is the Liberus of our collection so far.
Before we let you go,
Yeah.
Yes.
We mentioned it last week. Mark and I have a tradition after every episode to play a game of table hockey.
Okay, you watch yourself here, young man.
So I have now won 2 straight trivias, the last table hockey game, the monthly hockey card. I can't lose in this building.
Okay.
I can't.
Pipe down, Liberus.
Yeah. Ease up, Liberus.
That's a new nickname that's coming up for sure.
boy.
The Capital PTBO, find us out at thecapitalptbo.ca, 370 George Street. Come and see us, and we'll talk again next Friday.
Talk Liberus next Friday.